What's up, everybody? It's the Mask Lantern with Lauren. There she is. We are at show the name, Out of This World Collectables. So the guy who owns this place, we actually know him from his previous place he used to own out in Ravenna, called Your Toy Connection. Moved out of there, opened up a new place down near the Columbus area. So that's where we are right now. We're here before he's officially open, so if there's anything we want to get before the crowd comes in, we can get that. But, oh my god, like, this place is amazing. I love it. He used to be set up somewhere. Oh, okay. Yep. Oh, magic. He used to be set up at a different location. It was more of a part, not like his own place, but partnered with a different people. But yeah, he did not have all this stuff. That's terrifying. He did not have all this stuff displayed. But oh my god, if you like vintage, he knows vintage.
A little bit.
Not much. Just a little bit off and on. Come. And when we say vintage, we mean like, we're talking vintage. We're talking some oldie stuff. I mean, some of this might be reproductions.
Meow.
Lauren has the camera now. If you want Funkos, he doesn't have any.
No, none whatsoever.
Oh, I actually see a Funko that I wanted. That actually worked out. Mr. DNA.
Awesome. Oh, and he's diamond too.
Yeah.
Can't go wrong with Mr. DNA.
Got Stranger Things.
Pixelated Stranger Things.
Mm-hmm. Bunch of goodies. Oh my goodness. There we go. Fix that. Legos. Duplo. Displays. What's this?
That's the Space Needle. I like that. Oh, the Trevi Fountain. I love that. How much is that?
95.
Oh, jeez.
I've actually seen this in real life.
Yeah, I'm jealous.
Yeah. Been over to... That's me flexing that I've left the United States. News figures, anime related stuff, Power Rangers, more Funkos, Gremlin. The thing I always liked what he did. The thing I always liked what he did. If just look up just for a second, like, I love how he always hangs like ships, figures, because I want
Pixies.
Pixies, bastards.
Yeah, you just got Slimer. You see hanging out their buds.
Masters of the Universe. He's got Masters of the Universe. Pissed off Sonic. Oh no, look at this Sonic.
Yeah, he's angry.
Bin of Legos. Dog.
You want doggos? They got doggos.
The dog's not for sale.
No, dog is not for sale, man. Come on.
If it was, I would take it.
But there's only a couple things not available for sale in this shop, and you know what they are. Well, should we introduce myself?
Yes.
Or should I introduce myself? Yeah. Hey guys, you all know me. James Ford for Out of This World Collectables, previous owner of Your Toy Connection Ravenna. That's how I met this.
Hey, PG-13.
PG-13, okay. So, do you have any questions for me? I'd love to answer some questions about the toy world.
Oh my god. Like, okay, so let's just get this out of the way. How long have you been doing this? Like,
so, I've been a toy dealer since 1992. In high school, I was actually buying guys' toy collections while they were buying baseball cards.
Okay.
So, I was fueling that and getting inventory. I always loved toys.
Okay.
So, it's been a long time.
Oh yeah.
This is like my fourth store. Fourth store.
What? Have they all had different names, or have you kind of?
Yes.
Kept, wow.
So my first store was Finders Collectables.
Okay.
Then, well, that was like, all right. So that was 2 different stores.
Okay.
That was at the Southland Expo Flea Market on South High Street, and here in Pataskala at the Red Barn Flea Market. If anybody knows anything about the flea market, it was a long time ago when I had hair. No. Then my second shop, of course, was Your Toy Connection. Okay. Then now is Out of This World.
Okay. Wow. Like that is, I didn't know that, honestly.
Well, right, then of course I run the Columbus Toy Show and the Cincinnati Toy Show.
Yep. I have yet to be to either one of those, but I've heard just nothing but positive from those shows.
No.
Self-promotion.
I'm always self-promoting, so.
Yeah, you got to do it. You got to do it.
Yeah, like you said earlier, we were in another location with some friends at No BS Liquidators, and we were driving by this storefront, and the guy was putting the for rent sign up. I slammed on my brakes. I was like, "Take that sign down! I want it." I didn't even tell you how much the rent was.
I don't care.
I don't care. I was like, I want this to be a toy shop. So 5 months later, this is what it is.
Oh,
so,
yeah, no, dude, it's for what happened with. We're not going to go into that type of detail. Just saying from where you were in Your Toy Connection, and then coming from that low, and then just hitting this high. It's incredible.
I could share. Some stuff happened in Ravenna. So I had to sell the store, and I had to sell my show stock. So I started from scratch. Like, clean slate, go back to Columbus. And I wasn't even planning on opening a store, because I was just running CTS promotions. And then I met my wife while I was in Ravenna, and we got married. 3 years later, we have a year and a half later, we started the shop then. Now it's all this. So we got some stuff, man.
Yeah.
Did you peek in the back room real quick?
Take a video.
Just real quick. There. All right. So what else is on your mind?
Oh my God.
We do specialize in everything.
Yes.
Because I used to be just like Star Wars, Transformers, G.I. Joe. Now it's branched off to Funko Pops, Pokemon, Marvel Legends, everything. What do you got there? Oh, yeah. We dabble in, wrestling, but we have some really cool graded stuff. Prototypes,
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you got to see a really good prototype yesterday, so.
A prototype of an Ash Ketchum toy.
Here in a second, I'll show you guys some prototypes that we have at the shop.
Yeah, that blew my mind. He told me, because I don't know if I showed anybody on this on the channel, but I have like 2 figures of House of the Dead. And I got them from this guy right here. And then he told me, "Oh yeah, I have prototypes of them." Never got to see them, unfortunately. But I would have like arm and leg been like, "Mom, he's here. Take whatever you need.
Yeah.
I want those so bad."
It's so cool because being in the toy world, you never know. See, I talk to everybody. So when you're out at the flea market and stuff, and you're at somebody's table, it's like, what else do you have? Do you have any toys from the 70s, 80s, 90s? And they might start talking about, "Hey, I worked at Hasbro." "Oh, you worked at Hasbro. What did you do at Hasbro or Kenner?" They're like, "Oh, I worked on this line." "Oh, do you have any prototypes or stuff that you worked on?" And that's how you start getting into that stuff. So
it's just kind of crazy. Just oh my God, like
no, it doesn't. It doesn't. Yeah. So you talk to them. I'm gonna go get Ash.
All right.
Then we'll show him some other prototypes.
Oh yeah. But yeah, like when he says he dabbles in everything, he literally dabbles in everything now. Oh,
Anime.
Nope. Okay. I was hoping he'd have the head. He does not have the head.
Well, if you need shark legs, he's got shark legs.
He got shark legs. He got them legs though. He got them legs though.
Hey, this purple would match your hair right now.
Oh, almost, yeah.
All right, here we go. Don't move.
I'm moving.
All right, want to tell them what this is?
This,
or do I want to tell them what it is?
I just know it's Ash Ketchum, but you know a little more.
So Pokemon Ash. This is the prototype. There's 2 of these I heard in the world. 2. Now this would have had electronics in it. So a gentleman came in. I won't say his name because I don't want anybody to be like, "Hey, I want to call him." No, but he actually worked for McFarlane Toys and Hasbro and some other toy lines. And he brought this in one day. This would have had electronics in the backpack, but this is all solid resin. So this is the prototype. So I I just had to have it. So.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's just one
touched
thing.
it.
Then of course we have Revenge of the Jedi proofs. You know, running the Cincinnati Toy Show, you know, we get some Star Wars proofs.
Yeah,
and stuff
and,
like
I mean,
that.
considering like how what you know down in Cincy, and that's where Kenner.
Oh yeah.
That's where Kenner was.
So, but yeah.
I honestly I didn't know that up until like the Toys That Made Us documentary came out. I didn't know that Kenner was based in Ohio. That blew my mind.
Really?
Honest to God, yeah.
Yeah, well, of course, everything was made in Hong Kong, you know, and over that, and they shipped everything to Cincinnati for packaging.
Yes.
So,
But again, I didn't know that like you know that juggernaut that made Star Wars that what it is toy wise. I didn't know that was based in Cincinnati, Ohio, and I'm just like, wow.
and running the Cincinnati Toy Show, I've run into a lot of like Kenner employees and become friends with them, like Kim Simmons, a dear friend of mine now. He was the photographer, and we've done all kind of projects together. So it's just cool to be in this toy world. And at my age, I'm 48 now. Now I get to meet all the people that put together Star Wars toys and everything that Kenner did. So
Kenner do Joe, or is that a different?
that's Hasbro.
That was Hasbro.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. So. Yeah, and of course we do have, you know, G.I. Joe, well, anything 80s nostalgia we have. And of course we just got all those great Milton Bradley games sealed.
Oh, God, yeah.
A Milton Bradley employee came in the other day and we hit a mother load. You know, it's just so cool. And what should I show them out of that collection?
The murder. Sure.
The Murder, She Wrote.
Even though.
All right, keep on talking to them. We'll pull it out.
But no, also like the pickup video I did when you guys saw that Fireball Island, that's the guy I got it from, and I was so happy to get that.
We got another one.
I know. I don't need more than one though.
We got two.
The fact that I have one makes.
Chose. Look. All right, New Kids on the Block, sealed. Now these were in his private collection, sitting in a garage for like 20 years, untouched. So.
Do the Urkel.
Yeah, you gotta do the Urkel. So
I've only seen like one.
I've never seen one. Really? You know, even running the toy shows, I've never seen one.
Hey,
baby.
I'm sorry, but I mean, as much as like that's just like you know pictures of Julia Welly, but that is literally like someone's like you know instead of just getting a picture of Angela
I know.
going, let's draw her.
I know. Well, the really
Slightly
cool
terrifying.
thing that came in was some Hero Quest packs unopened. So we got like 3 or 4 each of these, and they're just amazing. It's just a part of history, you know. Like if you're into like D&D stuff, this is like right up your alley. Oh, yeah. And of course, sealed, never open.
Right.
You know, it's just amazing what walks through the store. So you never know that one guy that just like, oh, you know, what's he gonna have? Oh, he worked for Milton Bradley, and he has every game they ever made.
Right.
Ever. So, but yeah, that's just some fun stuff that comes in, and of course, you know, we put stuff on Facebook every day, like all the pops that we get in. It's just so much fun to own a toy store. So.
I mean, I've heard from Adam. It's a stressful life, though.
Well, you know, it is because you have to be. All right, let's put it this way: we got to be the owner. We got to be our own accountant. We have to do inventory. Yep. You know, everything. So when you're a store owner, it takes over your life. So, but I do have a partner in crime, and I am going to bring her out in just a second.
As long as she doesn't mind being on camera.
Oh. Come on. You're going to be on camera. Oh, she's got a Starbucks in her hand, too. So.
Oh, okay. That's how you know she's official.
Right. This is my wife, Sonia Ford.
Hello.
So, she is co-owner of Out of This World Collectables. So, anything you want to say?
No, I think you said pretty much everything. There was nothing.
So
left
I'm
to
always
say.
like the front guy. I always do all the talking, but
And I'm the lucky one. I get to be behind the scenes.
There you go.
yeah. Then my son Donovan works here. Some of you guys probably know Donovan. He works for us at CTS Promotions. Does an amazing job here. And we have another guy named Ryan. He's our video game guy. What else he do, Donovan?
Pokemon.
No. So. Yeah, it's a family affair. You know, it's fun. We treat everybody like family when they walk through the door. You know, and it's nostalgia. And you should see.
And then they forget to look up.
Yeah, you know, we always have stuff flying up in the air, and you know, horror, everything, whatever you can think of, we try to carry it. Other than like Beanie Babies and Pogs, and,
Right.
You know. We get calls all the time. Hey, I got all these great collectible Beanie Babies that are worth a lot of money. I was like, everything you just said was wrong.
Yep.
Okay. So, what else you want to talk about? We talked about everything. Are you done?
I'm done.
She's done.
She's done.
She's done.
She had her 5 seconds of fame. She's good.
That's it. That's it. So, well, if you want to walk around, if you have any questions, please. Like G.I. Joe, we got our Lego case, and we start doing video game, vintage video games. So we got some, some of that stuff and some NES stuff. Then the Star Wars case has some of the prototypes in it from Revenge of the Jedi when they changed the name from Revenge of the Jedi to Return of the Jedi. So, and I was fortunate to get those from a Kenner employee from running the Cincinnati Toy Show.
There you go.
So, all right, enjoy, kids.
That is the one thing I am familiar with, knowing that they changed it from Revenge to Return. And I don't know much about Star Wars. So yeah, probably what we're going to do, maybe just do a little bit of shopping for right now. We'll come back to show you what we got. If other than the things we bought yesterday, did buy at least 2 things. So for right now, we'll see you in a minute. What's up, everybody? Well, after seeing the shop, now we're going to show you what we got from it. So I guess we'll start real quick over here. So if Miss Lauren, if she wants to talk about it, she can.
Growing up, I had my uncle's Star Wars figures. He had the originals. This is one he actually did not have in this set, but I've always loved it. It's the original Leia with her cape.
It's kind of funny because we asked James if he had the original Leia, and he goes, "That depends." And we're like, "Depends on what?" He goes, "Well, do you want to spend a fortune or not a fortune?" And we're like, "Well, we would prefer not a fortune." He goes, "Oh, okay, that's fine." And then he's like, "Here's Leia," and she has her cape, which apparently that's missing or it's shredded.
Yeah, the cape was always hard to find.
And I always find it funny with toys like this, or just in general with toys, that it could be missing one tiny thing. Like in this case, the guns and weapons are very tiny for these guys because they're small. But just adding the gun to Leia makes this thing because we paid, we paid like $40 for this, and that shoots it up into the hundreds.
Yeah. That
little gun, which blows my mind about being a collector of this kind of stuff.
Which I didn't really need the gun, just wanted the figure.
Yeah, she unlike me, she's not a big person about completion.
No.
All right, and it's just the box right now. I actually have it out, currently building it. But anyways, just thought I'd show you. He got a massive collection from one person of Sailor Moon stuff. Like, a lot of it is from Japan. Like, this is actually from Japan. It is a model of Sailor Mercury, which is my favorite Sailor Scout. So I was just like, yes, I will 100% buy this and try to put it together. And it's a lot harder than it looks. It wouldn't look that hard, but the fact that all the instructions, I mean, yeah, I could use Google Translate. It's not a problem. The instructions are all in Japanese.
It does make it harder.
It does make it slightly harder. Thankfully, the pictures thankfully I can understand the pictures a lot better. Thank you for cutting the grass at this moment. Appreciate you. Love you guys.
Gotta love lawn care guys at an apartment.
Anyways, thankfully because of Lego, I understand it because I put Legos together, but still.
You and I tried. It's hard. They don't want to stay together.
She picked up these little things. They're not toys or anything. They're just decorations.
Well, they're kind of toys, but they sit on your desk. They're dragons.
Little dragons. I don't think we kept any of the boxes.
No, it's a mystery series, but this one was out of the box and I liked it. He's sleeping.
There's 5 of these in the set.
My sister-in-law collects these and I'm like, these are adorable. I need them in my life.
These actually came out. Hold on, I'm trying to do math here. 4 years ago. If I'm
I
doing
think
my,
so, because they've been out for a while. I just have never seen them.
If I'm doing my math right, well, it says copyright. It says copyright 2018. So if I'm doing my math right, it should be 4 years.
Yeah.
All right, just something kind of simple. Ah, yes, this is something for me. If you know me personally, you know that I love old school horror, like black and white stuff from the black and white era, from silent to the 50s to about 50s, 60s, stuff like that. A little bit of the 70s. So for those who know me, they know that this man, Vincent Price, is someone that I love and admire, and he's one of my favorite actors from the horror genre, and that's all he's ever did was horror. He doesn't like, and he loved it. Like I've read articles and seen videos and stuff like that. That he actually, a lot of actors who were put in certain roles, hated being typecast like that. But Vincent Price absolutely loved the horror genre to the point where he didn't look at it as being typecast. He looked at it as keeping his longevity alive. That if he can basically, like if he did like a kids program that was based around horror, like which he did, I can't think of the show, but he did a kids program when he was the narrator, and it was a horror variety show. That if he gets them young, there'll be fans for life, which is true because I mean he was the narrator in Scooby-Doo and the
13 Ghosts of Scooby-Doo.
The 13 Ghosts of
That's what I was
Scooby-Doo.
thinking of.
Yeah, that's what he did. He was like the big like I don't remember his character's name, but he was basically like, hey, you guys, he's kind of Skaggy Scooby, kind of screwed this up. So yeah, that was Vincent Price. Also, he was in the last thing he did before he passed away. He did the voice work for The Thief and the Cobbler, a movie that came out in the 90s, where there's a whole story behind that. He was the villain Zigzag in that. But the thing is, I'll say this real fast, he actually recorded the dialogue for that movie in the 80s or the 70s. One of the two. Because it was a passion project by the original creator of it, who never actually got to finish it, that it was taking too long, so they kicked him off the project and put somebody else in charge. So the version that we all saw, like that's on DVDs that have Matthew Broderick on it, I can't think of it, and all that stuff, that was the later version. They still kept Vincent Price in the movie because, he already recorded his line of dialogue, so there'd be no point of replacing him. But yeah, it's one of the last things he did before he passed away.
Okay, this is mine. This is one of the first animes that I ever saw my brother showed me. Love Hina. This is part of the anime collection that he got in, and I couldn't choose between all the figures, so I'm like, this one. It's probably one of my favorite characters.
Bring it closer.
If you've seen the anime, the one in the little sailor suit, she kind of bounces around like a monkey and jumps on people's shoulders. She's kind of funny. But I love these figures. I may go back and get the rest of them.
I know a little bit of Love Hina. It wasn't. It was one of the ones that a bunch of ex-girlfriends, whenever I talked about anime, they would always bring this one up. I read a few of the manga and stuff like that. Never really watched the anime. So, but yeah,
It's pretty funny.
I know of it. Well, yeah, no, it's a harem anime. Like,
the poor guy just keeps getting beaten up because he keeps walking into bad situations.
that is such a trope that I can't stand in harem animes, honestly. That's such a trope that honestly irritates the hell out of me. Dude walks in completely like 100%. Like it's just labeled bathroom. It's not labeled anything else. Walks in, there's a girl changing in there. It's like it's 100% an accident, or not even that. He walks into his own house and gets the shit kicked out of him.
Yeah.
Like she's like, how dare you look at me changing? Why the fuck are you in my house?
That's pretty much the entirety of Love Hina. Like, what are you doing in here? I wasn't trying to be in here. Punch.
That's just a trope. That's just a trope, honestly, in anime that I don't really like. But that's never here or there. So speaking of going with childhood, I didn't grow up with the original Transformers. because that came out in the 80s and I was not around yet. But the series of Transformers that I did grow up with was Beast Wars, and so I didn't really get any of the toys or anything like that growing up because, I don't know, I just didn't really have an interest to the toys when I was little. But the fact that, who's bringing this? No, Hasbro. There it is.
Yeah.
The fact that Hasbro is bringing these back out, like more articulated and stuff like that, because I've seen the original line of these toys, and I love them. So I'm actively going after just the Beast Wars set of these, and this is Black Arachnia. For those of you who don't know what Beast Wars is a Transformer series that takes place way before, like, it's not, to put this completely fair, it's not tied into the original series, like from the 80s. It's a completely different thing. It's a different origin of stuff, all that stuff, but they're still Optimus and Megatron. But anyways, that series, they land on Earth millions of years before any humans were around. So what they transformed into were animals and things like that. Such as Black Arachnia, she transforms into a spider. There you go. A black
Black Widow by the looks of it.
Yeah, Black Widow. I couldn't fit the word. Black Widow. Optimus, who is known as Optimus Primal, is a gorilla. Megatron, he transforms into a T-Rex, which I have back over there. Then there's Rat Trap, who turns into a rat. Cheetor, which a lot of people know. Cheetah. Rhinox, Rhino. Tigatron, Tiger. Waspinator, Wasp. Pterosaur is the only one that is a little kind of out there, because a few of them do turn into like dinosaurs because they find the fossils, such as the Megatron being a T-Rex. Pterosaur is a pterosaur. And there's I'll go through all my Transformers here, but I'm just kind of rambling at this point. But I'll do a collection. I'll do a video of all of them because I have quite a few now. All right, so.
This is very random, but I'm getting into a lot of the history of McDonald's and McDonald Land, and I saw these and I had to get them. Mary McCheese and Officer Big Mac. Two characters that unfortunately they were sued for.
A lot of if you don't know the history of McDonald Land, it's a weird history.
Mm-hmm.
Like, a lot of the characters. So, short version, you can go look this up too, honestly. I believe the guy who did the video on it, like, really dived into this. I believe that was, Yesterworld?
Yeah.
Yesterworld. So
Is it Yesterworld or Yesterland?
Either,
But I love his videos.
I believe it. Anyway, Yesterworld or Yesterland, whatever. You can just look them up, type...
I'll put the correct...
whatever. We're not promoting them. We're just... I mean, if you want to know the history, we can't really explain it like he does. He dives deep into it.
Oh, yeah.
So, if you want to know the history. But, short version that we understand, there's a TV show called H.R. Puffin Stuff, which basically had giant anthropomorphic characters and stuff like that. So, McDonald Land, instead of, like, making their own original thing, they literally stole from H.R. Puffin Stuff. Or at least that's how H.R. Puffin Stuff saw it.
They originally had hired the writers for H.R. Puffin to create it, and then they're like, never mind, we're not using it, and then just stole their idea.
Yeah. So a lot of characters, there's a few characters, Mayor McCheese and Officer Big Mac were their own things, such as Ronald, Grimace, and Hamburger. Like, those guys were like their own thing, but there were like at least two characters that were flat out stolen from H.R. Puffin Stuff. And I believe that one of them was the pirate and one of them was the scientist.
The scientist was the big one because basically he had the same voice as one of the characters. But these two mimicked the main character of the show, and they're like, yeah, no, you stole from us, we're going to sue you. So all the good characters had to go bye-bye.
Yeah.
Those two are my favorite.
I just also, for those of you who don't know, I just want to share this information. There's Grimace. For those of you who don't know, because for a lot of us probably have asked, what the hell is Grimace? He's a giant taste bud.
Yeah, I didn't know that. That's kind of weird.
I'm just gonna let that sink in for a second. That he is a literal taste bud. All right, cool. And now for
The more you know.
now this was my big boy purchase. So for those of you who don't know, I'm somewhat into Star Wars. I like it a little bit. I'm not like some people, some guys I know who are like hardcore into Star Wars.
My dad and my brother.
Or Alice. Alice very much knows. She knows the lore.
If you know her friend Alice, she's big into it.
Oh yeah, she knows the lore. So, but I'm enough of a fan. I know enough of it that if someone asks a certain question, I do know the answer. I can at least tell them that. So, I recently, well, I say recently, it's been now a few months, but I read for the first time Shadows of the Empire, the book. I know there's a game, which I have, which I probably should do a Let's Play here of that. But anyways, and there's a character in there called Dash Rendar, who I absolutely love. He's just a smugger, cooler version, basically, of Han Solo. And his ship is amazing. And for in the 90s, they released a bunch of toys for Star Wars in those lines, like Shadows of the Empire, Powers of the Force, etc., etc., etc. And they based them around the original Kenner. Like, they're the same scale. They changed them up a little bit, like made some characters, like, for whatever reason, like bulky and bigger. But
The Leia in that line is ridiculous.
but they're all the same scale.
They are.
So and what they also did was release some of the vehicles and ships. Thank you again. Thank you for cutting my lawn at this time. Appreciate you. The ships and stuff like that in this line, and this is Dash Rendar's ship, and it is called. We have a name on it.
It is the Outrider.
The Outrider. Thank you. And
Very cool looking ship.
it is. I think this kind of blows my mind. This is sealed. This has never seen the light of day. It's beat up to shit. It's got a few scuffs and marks and things like that. But eventually, I probably will open this and display it somewhere. What I like about this ship, it's Millennium Falcon-esque. Like, if you look at it, like, it's what I mean by that is the shape here of the ship is very Millennium. Mm-hmm. Millennium Falcon or Falcon, whatever you want to call it. But what I like about it as well, where he goes here, actually kind of rotates. Mm-hmm. So I just think it's a really cool ship. And I'm happy.
And it's probably going to come out of the box if I know you.
Yep. I'm really glad that they picked a few things in some of the Star Wars world to be canon. For example, this actually, so it's funny, Dash Rendar himself isn't canon, but his ship is. Because if you watch the special editions, or like the later releases, like later releases of A New Hope, when Luke and Ben are traveling into I want to say Tatooine, but I know it's not Tatooine. Where's the bar?
That was on Tatooine.
Oh, that was on Tatooine? Okay.
Yeah, because they were just driving that land speeder.
Yeah, so when they're going into like the small village or town, whatever, where the bar is on Tatooine, if you watch carefully as they're entering, Dash Rendar's ship is leaving up in like the sky. You see it take off. It's a very blink and you miss moment, but yeah, it's canon. I'm really glad they made the ship canon. Oh man, I was gonna say, tangent, and I'll make it quick. If they ever make Prince Seashore canon, that's from Shadow of the Empire, I'll be so mad. He is probably the worst villain I've ever dealt with, ever heard in the world of Star Wars. Like, he's bad. And I don't mean bad as in like, oh my god, he's crazy or whatever. He's not a good villain. Not at all. His whole focus of trying to get Luke Skywalker, because that's the whole focus for him, he wants to get Luke Skywalker because he knows that the Emperor wants him, and He knows that Vader is after him as well, and he doesn't like Vader, but he doesn't know that Vader and Luke are, father-son. He doesn't know that. He just thinks that they're getting him for the Emperor. So he's thinking, if I get him for the Emperor will like me more. Fuck you. It's like a small little brother type situation. Like, I'll show you, big brother type situation. That's really what it is. He's horrible. He does nothing in the book. He does nothing. Oh my God. His henchman, who's a fucking cyborg, does more than he does. But yeah, so that's all of the stuff that's the majority of the stuff we picked up from his shop. There'll be more videos like that coming up here, more pickups and things like that, and more videos, and yeah.
Probably some Let's Plays in the future.
Yeah, hopefully. Yep, and so we hope you appreciate this. We hope you like this. Like, comment, subscribe, do all that stuff. We'll be back with more videos here soon. This is the Masked Lantern.
And Lauren.
We'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.